George? George! What's this? A piece of burnt paper with the word Wolfram. That sounds familiar.
Wolfram. I curse that name forever.
What do you know about Wolfram, senor?
Wolfram. I spit on the name.
So you have lived here for a long time?
All my life. My father served here before me. In fact, he named me after Senor Xavier's favorite saint, Saint Ramon, patron saint of the falsely accused.
That's nice.
Not really. The Moors put a padlock through his mouth.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess there's a lesson there for all of us. What is Wolfram?
It was a mining company, run by a murdering swine called Gainan. In the Civil War, they backed the fascists. In return, Gainan was given soldiers to do his dirty work. They came here, brought their bloody war to this house, and killed Senor Xavier.
They shot Xavier? Senor Marquez's father?
I was just a boy, but I remember like it was yesterday. Shot him and his friend Hernandez, like animals.
Why did they come here?
They were searching for something, but they brought death with them. But there is one thing I have never understood. Xavier tried to escape through the library. But the library windows are barred. It is a dead end.
This Kenan, who was he?
He was Swiss, a businessman, and a murdering swine.
So what did he want here?
I don't know. When he wasn't torturing the locals, he disappeared to the library. Spent weeks in there, making notes and studying maps. His men, they crossed the whole of Catalonia searching for something.
Did they find it?
Who knows? One day, Gainan just disappeared. He never came back. An accident, perhaps, in the mountains. May his soul rot in hell. The soldiers didn't stay long to search for him. They hated him too.
The name Genan was familiar. He was the person who had tried to buy La Maledicción. A coincidence? Perhaps.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
So, when the soldiers left, you took back the house?
Yes. A few years later I returned and cleaned the place up. It broke my heart. I locked the library. I could not bear to touch Gainan's papers.
Can I have a look at the library?
No, I have kept it locked to honor the memory of Senor Xavier.
Please, this is important.
I lost the key.
You lost it?
That evening when I locked it up, I drank to the memory of Senor Xavier. The cellars were well stocked, Senora. It was a long night. I hid the key, then forgot where I hid it, so it is lost. That was all that was left in the morning. I haven't touched a drop since.
I needed to find out what Gainan had been working on in that library. In amongst the rubbish on the car floor was an old brandy bottle, an old pair of shoes. I picked up what looked like an old diary. It was Ramon's. The library will forever be a shrine. No one will enter. I shall hide the key in a safe place. Once I've eaten, I have just what I need and know what to do. Oh, beautiful lady, your eyes are so blue. I just can't stop thinking of you. Ramon was quite the budding poet. Our lives are entwined like ivy on a tree. That is what you mean to me. Nice. Hey, I was reading that. The floor of the car was littered with keys from sardine cans. A 5T71. Extraordinary. Have you no respect for great art? Pretty indigestible, huh? The wind chime looked like it was made from old cans. I wondered if it was Ramon's handiwork. Despite the scrap components, the wind chime was beautiful. It was uncanny. One old sardine can was bulging slightly. I fished around. There was something in it. And there it was, the key to the library. Ramon had been true to his word. This place was like a shrine. The table had been cleared. The trunk contained someone's personal possessions, at a guess, Genan's. I wondered what secrets they might hold. The hat looked battered and old. I wondered if it had belonged to the mysterious Genan. The map had interesting markings and scribbles all over it. George would be so jealous.
So, what is this place, Senor?
It is my family's chapel.
It's not like any chapel I ever saw. Where's the altar, the crucifix, the Christian symbols? And this fresco, what's that?
How extraordinary. It tells a story. It depicts the journey of my ancestors, the Cathars, and their escape from the hilltop fortress of Montsegur with the Tabula Veritatis, from under the very noses of the soldiers of the Albigensian Crusade.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who are the Cathars? And what have they got to do with the tabula?
The Cathars were Gnostics. They lived in the south of France in the 12th century, at peace with the Jews and the Catholics of the Languedoc. They preach that men and women are equal, that God is within you, and that the Church is an obstacle to salvation. The Pope found their core beliefs abhorrent. The Cathars accused him and his Church of corruption. He condemned them as heretics. When the Pope learned that they were the guardians of the Tabula Veritatis, he conspired with the King of France and called for a holy war to wipe them out. The Albigensian Crusade was a callous, ruthless massacre. The final confrontation took place here at Montségur in 1244. The Crusaders believed that they had slaughtered all the heretics, but a handful managed to escape with the tabula. They traveled south across the Pyrenees along secret trails. They brought the tabula here to Catalonia to be hidden once more. Sadly, it was not the end of their trials. The Spanish Inquisition saw to that. Nevertheless, for generations, my ancestors continued to guard the secret of the tabula. So, you understand why La Maledizione is important to me. It will lead us to the tabula again, so we can keep it safe from those who wish to abuse its power.
The painting brought us up here, Senor. We need to find out why. Senor Marquez?
Yes?
Why was this room so well hidden?
After Montségur, my ancestors were very careful about announcing their presence. Even I, as a boy, knew nothing of this place.
Maybe the fresco is important.
Perhaps it denotes a dark time in our history. But wait, there is something strange.
Go on.
Each of the escaping Cathars is carrying a tabula.
But you said there's only one tabula.
That is right. So, why would they paint this lie?
Maybe to hide the real destination?
Of course, and only a Gnostic would know the right one.
So you say the Cathars are Gnostics?
The Cathars were a medieval religious movement based on Gnosticism. Nowadays, we simply call ourselves Gnostics.
So the tabula is the key to the power of God?
Yes, it is an object of tremendous power.
Wow, this Albigensian crusade sure must have been a bloody affair.
Few were spared. But it was only one episode in 2 millennia of persecution.
It was a large marble statue of an old man with a beard. The statue held aloft a colored glass lens. These statues...
What of them?
They're just like the figures in the painting, and on the fireplace.
Indeed, they are the 2 pillars of the Gnostic faith in harmony. And the bearded one is Yahweh, Jehovah, God of the physical world. The other is known by many names. Hillel, Ishtar. He is the bearer of light, Luxfere, Lucifer.
Lucifer? So you guys are devil worshippers?
No. When he is in balance with Jehovah, Lucifer is the god of desire and ambition, driving humans to be inquisitive, to discover, to advance. Just as Jehovah, when he is in balance with Lucifer, is the god of order. Jehovah stands for selflessness and altruism. Gnostics worship the harmony of both gods in balance.
But what if one were to rule without the other?
If Jehovah ruled without Lucifer, then individuality would be surrendered. Mankind would be wholly conformist, mindlessly dependent, mere pawns of a controlling power.
And what if Lucifer ruled without Jehovah?
Ambition and desire would be transformed into unbridled greed, and man would lust only for wealth and power. Society would descend into chaos, disorder and war would prevail. Then Lucifer would be the devil indeed.
It was a glass wheel divided into 6 colors, and it looked like it could be rotated. Part of the lens was covered. I removed the small leather cover to reveal a crude crystal lens. Colored light streamed through and shone onto the fresco. The color changed from yellow to green. It was a glass wheel, just like the one held by the other statue. Part of the lens was covered. The color changed from yellow to green. The color changed from green to turquoise. The color changed from turquoise to blue. I only had a few matches. Using one now probably wasn't a good idea. Just what this place needed. Bit of mood lighting. If only I had a few scatter cushions.
Amazing. The light is showing the path of the bonhomme.
The what?
The sacred trail my ancestors took across the Pyrenees, carrying the tabula veritatis, from Montségur across the mountains to this town.
And which town is that?
I don't know. That I cannot answer. But its coat of arms is quite distinctive.
But how does it bring us closer to the tabula?
It tells us the route the tabula took 800 years ago.
I think that's all we're going to find up here.
You're right. We should return to the hall. Eva will be getting worried.
Okay, we found the route of the bonhomme trail. How does it help us?
It must somehow relate to the painting.
Papa, are you crazy? What are you doing?
I'm fine, don't fuss.
You got me out here to look after you, so let me do it. Ramon is outside keeping watch.
George, I'm glad you're safe. What did you find?
There's a secret chapel above the fireplace. But it's not your average everyday chapel. It's a Gnostic chapel. All laid out for worshiping not one god, but 2.
What?
I'll tell you when we have more time.
You know, I found some things too, which might connect with all that. Come to the library. Oh, could you bring the painting? I think we're going to need it.
What are you doing with La Maledizio?
Nico found something and asked me to bring the painting. I promised to take care of it. It was a shield on which heraldic symbols had been painted. The coat of arms was exactly the same as the one depicted on the fresco. It read Berga.
Ivar, go with him. Make sure the painting comes to no harm.
I should stay with you, Papa.
Don't worry about me. La Maledicción is more important.
Have you brought the painting?
Sure, why do you want it?
Because I found out what Genon was up to.
The Gainan who tried to buy the painting from Medovsky?
No, Genon who led the fascists here during the Civil War. Genon who then spent months here searching for something. And who vanished one day, leaving that trunk full of goodies over there.
You think he's connected to the Gainan who wrote the letter to Medovsky?
It seems likely that they were related.
Maybe. So what's the plan you've uncovered?
Take a look at this. It's Genon's map. He was searching for something.
Searching for what exactly?
The Tabula Veritatis, I guess.
You think he found it?
I doubt it. If he had, then people wouldn't still be chasing after the painting.
So why did you want me to bring it?
See this scribble in the sea?
It's the same shape as the circles around the Ouroboros.
Yes. Genon thought that pattern in the painting had something to do with a map of Catalonia.
So, I guess we try to finish what Gainan started. I'd put money on those circles around the Ouroboros being places in Catalonia.
But which places?
Maybe the painting can give us some more clues. The map had to be the key. This was one of the locations highlighted on the fresco.
And this was the starting point of the journey of the Bonon, the good man, the Cathars, right?
So, the coat of arms on the fresco pointed us towards Berga.
Then it must be important.
2 locations down. If the vignettes on the painting were anything to go by, I needed to find 2 more. The village of San Ramon.
Saint Ramon. Ramon told me he was named after a Saint Ramon.
There's also a saint on the painting.
Let me guess, he has a hefty padlock through his lips?
I'd found 3 locations. Now I had to track down the last one. I wasn't sure that I had all the information I needed to pinpoint the important locations. I lifted the hat out of the chest. There was something tucked beneath the shirt. I picked up the folded note. It was a telegram. I deciphered the telegram. The Tabula Veritatis was smuggled out of Montsegur to Catalonia by a group of Cathar survivors. I have confirmed this from confessions extracted by the Dominican Inquisitor Emmerich of Girona. It was signed Wolfram. I put everything back in the chest. Time to take another look at the map. 4 clues, 4 locations. I just needed to pinpoint the location they referred to. The Dominican monk Emmerich was from Girona. The dog-headed priest on the painting. I could see a pattern emerging. The locations had formed an odd cross shape, similar to the layout of the orbs depicted on the painting. This is the center point of the cross, so the tabula must be here. Montserrat. It has to be Montserrat. The question is, what's Montserrat?
It's a monastery in the mountains, quite a tourist spot. But there's something else. I think it used to be a Gnostic refuge, hundreds of years ago.
Bravo, my friends.
Medovsky?
No, Langham.
No, it's Genan, isn't it?
Very good, Miss Collard.
So, what happened to the real Langham?
He went for a long swim in the Seine. Now, I was expecting to have to rip this place apart and retrace my grandfather's steps, but I do believe you have saved me quite a lot of work. The tabula is at Montserrat. Who would have thought it? The old man will be coming with me.
No, please, take me instead. He doesn't know anything.
And you do? I think not.
But he is old.
Eva, hold your peace, child.
You can't do this.
Oh, but I can. I will. Man is weak, servile, controlled. He must be freed, freed from all constraints, free to fulfill his desires.
And you plan to raise the devil to achieve that?
Not the devil. Lucifer. Now, if you don't mind, we have a long journey ahead of us. Come on. They can rot in there.
We have to get out of here now. I assume that lunatic is as dangerous as he looks.
I'm afraid so, Eva. I think he's killed before.
You know, Nikko, we were chasing Medovsky, but all along, we were really up against Ganon's grandson. Look, daylight.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's a false door, Nikko.
So that's why Marquez's father tried to escape through here. He didn't have time to open the false door.
Aha!
Great work, George. Come on, Eva, let's go.
We need to rescue your father and stop Langham before he gets the tabula. Eva, I think you'd better stay here.
Are you kidding? You'll need me, especially if there's a fight.
Eva, it'll be very dangerous.
Signora, you do not understand. It is my duty.
Okay. We'd better check up on Ramon first.
Sure. Then we will go and kick some ass.
Couldn't have put it better myself.